This is Sadie. He's just like
Serious?
interrupting your,
Serious
interrupting your
thing. Yes,
message.
you have to.
Thanks.
I want to add one message actually.
Yeah,
To you.
of course. If you weren't to become a teacher and all of this profession, what would you be? Like, who would be Faouzi?
You have Brussels.
Yeah.
That's also, it has its own parliament.
Hi. Welcome to Talks and Cakes, the first episode of Talks and Cakes. And today we have a special guest, Faouzi Rahmouni. We will get to know him soon. And allow me to welcome our guest. Hi, Faouzi.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing good. It's a bit cold, but
Yeah. Are you excited to
Yeah.
be like the first guest in Talks and Cakes?
I'm even honored to be the first one.
Yeah, thank you, really. It's also like I'm also excited that you are our first guest in Talks and Cakes. Okay, so maybe first things, like we should have cakes in Talks and Cakes, but because it's Ramadan, we are not having the cake now. But I think Faouzi, you told me that you are a fan of lemon cake. So our cake today is a lemon cake. And okay, let me know why it's a lemon cake.
I chose the lemon cake first of all because I like it. It's the flavor is really nice for me, and also it resembles my personality. For me, if I eat a lemon cake, a lot of people think like, oh, it's really sour.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like passionate action, and it got a drive in it. The taste, like lemon, is very, very not
Like,
spicy, but how do you say it?
like sour taste with the sweetness.
Yeah.
Like this, like, okay. Yeah, so hopefully at some other, we could just, another episode and then we could have the lemon cake.
I would like that.
Yeah. Okay, Faouzi. So we sent our speakers. They're interested to know who's Faouzi Rahmouni. Maybe you can tell me, like, who is Faouzi?
Yes. So, Faouzi is my first name. My last name is Rahmouni. I'm 25 years old. My ethnicity is Moroccan. I was born in the Netherlands, and when I was 10, my family moved to Belgium. I'm a teacher and student counselor in a middle school in Antwerp, a very diverse school. And in college, in university, I got a degree of master in educational sciences. And education is really in my heart, and
Okay.
that's why I think I'm here.
Yeah, so you're into education and... Okay, that's nice. And did you study in Antwerp?
Yes, I studied in Antwerp, in the University of Antwerp.
Okay. And how did you think to combine between like education, your passion, like to be like a student council and like, yeah, how did you find like passion and that's what you're doing?
For me, the future, the basics of the future are in education.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to have an impact for the future, for the people, for the youth. And I felt really good in my time at school. And I want that everybody has a good time at school and learn things to build together and a great future and a great educational system.
For me, it sounds like you like leadership and initiative, but you like to leave this impact through having like, yeah, this like kind of leadership spirit that you're interested to leave something in the community.
Yeah.
Do you know exactly what inspired you that you wanted to leave this impact in your society or where you studied or...
Yeah. When I was in school, when I got a degree, when I was in education as a student, I never felt or saw a teacher like me in front of the class or someone that has impact on my life outside my parents, of course, and my family, but in the educational system or outside, I never felt it. And I wanted that the educational system should and would be more diverse. And that's why I got into it, actually. So.
Okay. And do you find the space now where you are able to maybe leave this impact that you're looking for? Or like, where do you see yourself now working on this impact that you're hoping to leave that maybe you didn't find before, but you're also looking to create? It can be also that you're a creator for this thing.
I will not say I'm the first one, but
Yeah.
I think my generation is one of the first generation that are really into making a difference for the people. Not that before that they didn't do it, but like the ethnicity of or the diverse people has to be more inside the system.
Yeah.
And I think our generation is a generation that does it. And now I do it by teaching, but I want to go a next step, and that's with politics and with society. So I'm gonna put my effort and my energy more into that as well. So I want to combine it too, to have even more impact.
Yeah, I think it's really important. We have maybe something in Arabic that we usually say that the school starts from the family. Maybe this is also what you mentioned at the beginning, saying about your parents, that usually the mother is the school.
Yeah.
So then it starts like from the family, then it goes to the school, and then after the school, we transfer this to the community, to the society, to the system. As you said, like this is like our life and this is our reality. So it's really interesting how say like our personal life it
Yeah.
transfers our also passion toward things that we want to do. I also saw in your bio that you're in biology. Are you combining science with social science?
At school I teach science, natural science, and part of it is biology. So I teach biology, physics, and chemistry. And I taught physical education before I became a student counselor. So those were the two subjects.
Okay, so are you a student counselor for the natural sciences and this aspects, or you're a student counselor in general
Yes.
for overall like social?
Yes, I'm a student counselor for everything. So that means social, emotional for the students. What they want to become for the future, what do they want to study, also family related. If there's a problem at home, they come to me to talk to me. And
So you're combining mental health as
yes,
well.
mental health is also a big thing inside my job description.
Yeah. I think mental health is something new into the school. Like new in the forms that it is happening today. I think it existed always. I do remember having it, but it wasn't really a strong aspect in the school that maybe a student or a teacher could refer to. That we know that there's an advisor,
Yeah.
like psychological advisor in the school, but it wasn't really very too much into the system to have a student advisor who's also like onto mental health. What do you think? What has brought this to be really important or like for this to be integrated into schools today? Also, you can focus on the school that you are working with
Yeah.
if you have an idea like why did they really have an interest in this?
We'll go. People are the ones that go to school, persons,
Yeah.
and they all have different backgrounds, different problems, and different positive things. And I think without mental health, if your mental health is not right, you can't go into teaching. You can't go into learning new things. So that's actually the basic needs. It's even a theory, the pyramid of Maslow, it's called. And one of the base things are mental health, physical health, and everything. Without that, you can't go into teaching. And I think previously they were focused on it, but not as much in schools.
Okay.
And if you look now at the society, mental health is a big thing. There's a lot of changing things outside of our homes and in society, so it's a basic.
Yeah, I really believe like the world that we are living to, maybe also being in Europe as well. It's like the idea of being like an international sphere in more developed countries where there's a lot of things that are coming into our life every day, like the idea of like industries and all of these things. Yes, they bring stress to the people, and we hear it maybe today. A lot of people are talking about anxiety, stress in their jobs. So I find it really interesting to talk about it in an educational sphere and maybe like with the students. But could you tell us what the age of the students that you are?
Yes, the students are aged from 14 years old to 21 years old. This is the oldest one.
Yeah, wow, that's really nice because it's a critical age.
Yeah.
Really, like the 14 to 21 is the teenagers age, is like where basically the student personality would shape
Yeah.
at school, and we're preparing them to the university, which is another level. So yeah, I think this is really great to
So it's an important age to prepare
Yeah.
them to develop themselves, and there comes a lot of problems inside their lives and a lot of thoughts,
Yeah.
and we have to shape them with them. So
And do you find opportunities to connect or network with other maybe schools or other communities that are interested in what you are interested to? Like, do you find opportunities from other people supporting around you for these ideas?
yeah, but it was not that easy. It
Yeah.
was not an easy. The path was not clear. You have to dig through holes and to dirt to become there. For me, one thing that really helped was the connections when I got into politics. Um, it's not my, it's not really my job or my mandate that I have, but I try to, with my networks, to get them into my school, to get them into the system. It's not really easy, but if you want it, you can get there.
Yeah, for sure. This is like really about how to say like insisting on what you're really like wanting to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, in relation to this and networking, you mentioned to me earlier that you did an Erasmus experience.
Yes.
Maybe could you let us know where did your Erasmus happen? I know like it happens across Europe. It's really very interesting. I did Erasmus before. And we just said like it's really an amazing experience that people get to do Erasmus.
Yeah.
So maybe yeah, we could explain to people it. What is Erasmus? You can tell us where did you do your Erasmus?
Right.
Then.
Erasmus is actually a European initiative to study abroad or study in your home country as well with other students from Europe, and it's not really free, but it's substituted. It's like financed by the European government, and it gives you the opportunity to study in another country in Europe. I did it in Norway for 5 months in my teacher education, and the subject was outdoor education. So it's a system that we don't have in Belgium. I will talk about it later, maybe about outdoor education. But Erasmus is a really great opportunity to develop yourself, to get in contact with other students, to make your network bigger, and also to feel, taste, experience other cultures.
Yeah, that's I think I would say like the core of Erasmus thing is like really to experience something international. And as you mentioned, that you got the chance to work on something that you don't have in your home country, which is the outdoor education, which for me it really sounds interesting, as like we always think that the school is a room, is a board, and maybe chalk, or like these days can be like online. We're talking a lot about online classes after COVID. So I feel like we had like this education system that restricted us into very traditional formal education, that we just have a teacher, we have again like the board and all of this. What do you mean then by outdoor activities? Like for me, it sounds something new that I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not really common actually in Belgium or in the Netherlands or France or like in the countries around Belgium. But in Norway, it's like one of the core things about education. It's outdoor education. The word says itself. It's education outside, but it's not only that. I can take my class and teach them here. That is not really outdoor education. That is just teaching outside. The main core about outdoor education is that you implement your area around you. It can be nature, it can be the city, it can be everything around you outside of the classroom, but you have to implement it as well. For example, when I teach biology, I can teach them in a classroom and I can say, this is a tree, these are the different things the tree
Like
gets,
the
branches and everything, like very theoretical. Another part is I can go outside with them and I can tell them, look, this is a tree, feel it. How does it get its energy? With the sun, what does it do? Like experiencing it and not only teaching it by words or by text. And for me, it's a really important part of education that we are not focusing a lot into.
And does students interact with this kind of methodology of teaching? Like, are they happy about it? Do they enjoy it maybe more than the classroom?
I felt it in my internship in Norway that the students are more happy and more free, because when you're in a classroom, you're between four walls.
Yeah.
Small sometimes, one teacher in front of the class, and it goes one way. When you're outside, it's a different environment, it's a different feel you have with the teacher and around you, and they feel free. They dare to talk, they dare to get into interactions. Teamwork is really important. So it's a different dynamic that you have. And I feel like they are being a kid again, because sitting in front of a desk is actually
makes you feel older.
It makes you feel old. It makes you feel
that you're like restricted with the space. You're restricted just to listen to the teacher, like something more theoretical.
Yeah.
I think when it becomes like theory, it's also easy to forget. When the student grows older, like I remember that I learned biology. Like But then I forget everything because it was all about memorization, that I would memorize, for example, the parts of the tree
Yeah,
or like the parts of the flower. All of this was about memorization. So if you ask me today, I just forgot because it was memorization.
of course.
But if we had opportunity to go and observe by myself, it's different. It's really about experiences. Like this is how we say like our experiences reshape us because it is something that's built like critically in our minds that we don't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's really interesting. And you mentioned a bit about politics.
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah. What do you think about like how do you connect politics with education, or what do you mean by politics?
Yes. I got into politics before the summer, so it's not really long. It's like 6, 7 months,
Right.
and I did it because, again, I want to have an impact.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people can have an impact, and you can do it on a level of education at school, or you can do it with your kids at home. But another thing is you can do it a political way. So it's like bigger. It's an overview of all those small parts that are important,
Yeah.
but you can have a greater impact. Not directly, but if you can implement it into politics, it's like you can have a change that will stay in the core of a country or a community or anything. And I wanted to do that. It's just the beginning steps. So, but it's really an intriguing way of trying to implement the things I believe in.
Yeah, I totally agree. Okay, so since politics is also about policies and you're looking for an impact and change, and this means like, okay, we want change in policies, and these policies are imposed from political leaders or like from people like who are in power generally, because those are people like who would say for the change yes or no. It depends. But also as youth, I think we could change things on how we say, like as you said, like you started the change from the school, then you're taking it socially, and socially you're taking it like with looking with a possible like politics that you could obviously like advocate or promote what you are looking for, which is really very interesting because I think there is a space for this in Belgium, in the Netherlands, in Europe. Again, like I think the idea like when you're always like looking for positive change, you would find the space
Yeah.
for this. So it's really interesting when we think about, is there like a specific part of politics that you are like trying to get to have your impact through, or like
Yeah.
for example, like is it within your city, with your with the country, or overall, or you're like taking it into the European level? What kind of levels do you like or would you
Yeah.
promote on?
For me, it's most importantly for me, it's education.
Yeah.
So it would be on the Flemish. In Belgium, we have a lot of parts.
Yeah.
We have Flanders, there's the north. You have Wallonie, the south, where they speak French. You have Brussels.
Yeah.
That's also, it has its own parliament. And then you also have the German part. And locally, a lot of different districts and cities and everything.
Yeah.
For me, ideally, I want to have impact on education, and education is on the level of Flanders. So it's not federal. It's not the whole Belgium, but it's like the northern part. And for me, that's where I want to have an impact. But it starts here,
Yeah.
and hopefully one day it will be there. But for now, it's locally.
Okay.
It's locally in my city where I live in. It's Antwerp, and Antwerp has a lot of districts, and Hoboken is one of them. And I try to have an impact locally first.
I think this is really interesting because then the community, they know you.
Yeah.
And when I would say like usually the person, they will get the support from the circle that they're close to you, and believing that you can change or you can bring like nice impact for the people in a small circle, it's very interesting that this change it will spread. So starting the idea locally where you're coming from and all of
Yeah.
this, it will foster that this change will expand. You know, it might then include different parts, or you will be like the word I think inspirator for maybe other people, other systems, linking it that, for example, that you did an Erasmus internationally, you know, it will be really interesting. Okay, that sounds really nice. I really like combination between education and politics. This is feel like I believe really like the knowledge that we are building today. It's something that is bringing the change that we are looking for. or like looking for things that can be, how to say, like better
Yeah.
implemented or better improved and all of this. Okay, I'm trying to see maybe like something that, what is like a piece of advice would you give for teachers or like teachers, trainers, or any people who are coming into this profession that's related to your experience that you have now?
Yes. So I forgot to mention one thing.
Yeah, 10.
I'm also trainee for new becoming teachers.
Yeah.
So they are, I don't know how to say it in English, Hogeschool. It's like one level below university. It's where they train to become a teacher, and I follow them up, and I try to guide them to become a teacher. And one personal advice I give them always is try to get connected to the students.
Okay.
If you have the connection with your students, then all the other things will come a little bit by itself. If you have connection with your students, they believe you, they want to learn from you, they see you as a role model,
Yeah.
they talk about you with the parents, and all those things combined get you to learning new things without being the strict one, without being the one that always bullies the kids. Or I'm not saying that every teacher does it, but there are teachers that does this. But
Yeah.
believing in them and have a good connection with your students is one of the most important things in education.
Right. That's, I totally agree, really. Like on this, that this is like how you really leave an impact as well, really, like on the people by, as you said, like not police someone, because if you police them, it's like you're suffocating them. They're gonna just like escape, they're gonna run away. But if you become their friend and then affect, like influence them, this gets better. Okay, if you weren't to become a teacher and all of this profession, what would you be? Like, who would be Fauzi?
Great question. Who would I be? I think the first thing I studied, I would say I first started to study pharmacy. I did it for 1 year. I didn't make it, or I didn't want to try to do it really good because it was one hard. It wasn't a lot with people,
Yeah.
but it had an impact.
Okay.
You can try to guide people to medication to help them and to heal people. So if it wasn't education, I think it would be pharmacy or something in the health sector that I would be working in.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
But it's again with people, so I wouldn't change the job without the people part.
Yeah. Okay, that's really interesting. So that you really have this interest, like in people, also in helping people. I see that you really like to help people,
Yeah.
but not like in a traditional way, that everybody's looking to help sometimes traditionally, but no, you're trying to be like more through your personality, what you're interested in. Okay, so if I would ask, like, what is something that you are mostly or the most proud of today, since you're like being a leader of by yourself on some like in your local community to change something in the educational system? Yeah, what are you proud of?
What am I proud of now is when I go to my work, that I'm happy, that I love my job, but also that the students love it when they see me and talk to me. It's like one part that you couldn't have in other jobs, I think.
Yeah.
It's like enjoying your job while you see that other people always also enjoy you as a teacher or as the one that's helping them. So it's like the feeling that I get when I go working. It's there. That's one thing I'm most proud of. But if I look at it a little bit bigger, one thing that I'm proud of is that I do things that I want to do, so that I dare to try to have an impact. Again, not alone me, but like with the people I need to have the impact.
Yeah.
And I think the ambition, the thing that I'm most ambitious about, I want to do that. So that's the thing what I'm proud of.
So do you think you are becoming the person you wanted to be? Like if you look at the child Fauzi, or like maybe Fauzi 10 years ago, like do you think you are becoming the person that you wanted to be today?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think so. I'm on the way of becoming it's still in progress, but
Yeah.
I'm happy about how my life is developing right now.
Okay, that's so nice. Okay, I think really like this talk is just me like really that you are a very ambitious person. It's very nice to have like how to say someone who's being an inspirator in the educational part. Also overall, like you mentioned before that you're coming from a Moroccan background
Yes.
and you're living in Belgium and it's like all this diversity of experiences. I think this is very nice. Yeah, do you have anything else you'd like to add to our talk today? I think it's very interesting that we really talked about education, politics, the combination of this, but also like someone who's really interested in having change. Maybe this is also like what we as youth active through our jobs, maybe we don't like routine that we are looking for to create change. So yeah, would you like to add anything
I
for
want
this?
to add one message actually to the
Yes,
youth.
of course.
I will look into the camera for this.
Yes.
I want to say everyone that has a dream to follow your dream and to really get inspired by people around you, but also keep it in your mind you are the future. So there are old people.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
There are old people now. Should I do it again or?
No, no, this is Sadie. He's just like
Siri?
interrupting your
Siri is
interrupting your
saying yes.
message.
You have to. You
Yeah.
have to take it. So I said like, you have to keep in your mind that there are old people, a lot of people that are not like you maybe, that are on top of the world. They are saying things that we have to do, following them, following their ideology, but know that they are deciding about you. You are the future. You need also to have impact on this. So don't stay silent. Speak up. Dare to speak, and dare to create your future because what you're doing now has impact on what the world will become in 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. So stay focused and dare to talk and dare to speak up.
Thank you so much, Faouzi. I really think like you have a great personality.
Thank you.
I think your message will reach everybody.
so.
It's really amazing. And it's something that I really assure on that this is a very important message for youth. So yeah, thank you for watching our first episode of the podcast Talks and Cakes. I hope that this is also has been an inspiring episode. Wait for us on the second episode with also a new piece of cake. And yeah, subscribe to our channel in the link below. Thank you.